the MacGyver spirit of Ukraine. To MacGyver something means to make or repair a piece of equipment with whatever materials are at hand. Duct tape, scrap metal, and a pair of crossed fingers are the usual signs that something has been MacGyvered. And while this may lead some to think that improvised and cheap weapons are ineffective or of poor quality, the war in Ukraine is a blatant example of their effectiveness. Most of this technology is made possible by donations from ordinary citizens and supporters of the cause. As the people of Ukraine rally around their soldiers, old cars, trucks, wagons, and whatever supplies can be scavenged up are shipped to the front line. Although it's unclear to what extent many of the older cars are impacting the war, one thing is sure: drone technology is pestering and slowing down the Russian advance. One thing that was repeatedly brought up and requested by Ukrainian soldiers was the need for quality maps. Using cheap drones has made it possible for many soldiers to see their surroundings clearer and gain meaningful insight into enemy movement and troop location. Before the use of drones, many Ukrainian soldiers were stuck with Soviet handmade maps from the 1980s. But this all changed with Alexei Savchenko's Army SOS. The Army SOS is a non-governmental organization tasked with supplying the Ukraine Army with supplies and sometimes recruits. Savchenko remembers how service members would say to him, "Where there used to be a field is now a village or an apartment building." Savchenko helped coordinate a tech solution by using a company in Kyiv to install satellite maps and military data on tablets and smartphones. With so many people sending supplies to Ukraine, here are some ways the military is transforming cheap materials into useful military technology. We're proud to partner with Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, revolutionizing the way that you submit injury claims with just the palm of your hand. With Morgan & Morgan, you can file claims, upload medical records, and chat with your legal team effortlessly using your cell phone. Contacting a personal injury attorney should be your first step in a car accident. It's a no-brainer, and it costs you nothing unless they win. You have nothing to lose, and a firm like Morgan & Morgan can quickly determine if you have a case. Don't overthink it. Take action to protect your rights, and Morgan & Morgan will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Starting with Morgan & Morgan is a breeze. In fewer than 8 clicks, you can submit a claim using the link in the description below, or simply dial #LAW, that's #529 from your cell phone. Don't let injuries hold you back. Trust Morgan & Morgan to guide you through the process and get you back on your feet in no time. DJI Mavic Quadcopter. The $4,000 Mavic quadcopter is being used with devastating effect by both the Russians and Ukrainians in the Ukraine war. While some are used to map out the landscape, others are outfitted with small explosives and flown into more expensive machinery. The drones are mainly off-the-shelf models which are bought online for hobby use. They're being used to surveil Russian troops, find the best point of attack, and even drop small explosives directly onto the enemy. This has been made possible with donations of civilians and foreign organizations, resulting in the Ukrainian army having more than 6,000 commercial drones. Innovations used to make the drones battle-worthy include 3D printing, which has been used to develop attachable parts to drop grenades or small bombs on targets. Drones have improved the efficiency of artillery, as they can replace soldiers for reconnaissance missions and are difficult to detect and destroy. The use of drones has also had a positive impact on the morale of Ukrainian troops. Photos and videos are posted online to showcase the clever ways in which the drones are used, and this has given the soldiers a sense of pride. It has also instilled fear into the Russian troops, making them aware that they're being watched. Overall, the use of drones has been a great success for the Ukrainian army. It's enabled them to perform surveillance, reconnaissance, and even offensive operations, proving to be a valuable asset in the war against Russia. Kropiva software. While soldiers are clamoring for more drones, the military is furiously trying to stay ahead of its enemy counterparts in the software used by the drone. The Ukraine military has expertly found a way to convert an Android tablet, which costs just $150, into an automated precision guidance system. Kropiva, a software developed by Alexei Savchenko and a group of software developers in Kyiv, has had a significant positive impact on the Ukrainian war. Kropiva turns an Android-based tablet into a basic unit of an automated precision guidance system. It can acquire and transmit coordinates for correcting artillery fire from a drone or radar, and then calculate the distance to targets and direct shots of each type of artillery used in the Ukrainian military. This has enabled troops to see their surroundings more clearly and to correct artillery more quickly and accurately. Kropiva has also saved lives in other ways. It can measure distances, enter coordinates, and guide troops through all types of terrain, enabling them to detect and avoid minefields. In addition, Kropiva has allowed troops to remain in contact with the command centers, even when web access is not available. The calculations are made and transmitted within seconds, which can be the difference between life and death in a war situation. Overall, Kropiva has helped to transform the Ukrainian military from an underdog to a powerful force of resistance. It's enabled troops to see their surroundings more clearly, to correct artillery more quickly and accurately, to detect and avoid minefields, and to remain in contact with command centers even when web access is not available. These factors have helped the Ukrainian military gain a significant advantage in the war and have likely saved countless lives. DIY all-terrain buggies. The increasing use of cheap do-it-yourself vehicles by the Ukrainian army has had a significant impact on the war effort and has been an important factor in the conflict. These vehicles, which are often built from older models with outdated engines, have been used to great effect in harassing Russian forces and providing support to Ukrainian soldiers. Coming under a $2,000 price tag, the widespread introduction of these low-cost vehicles have enabled Ukrainian forces to be more mobile and allowed them to launch surprise attacks against Russian forces, who are often unprepared for the suddenness of the attacks. The vehicles being made are the products of Ukrainian citizens in garages across the country. People such as Sergei Bondarenko, a local leader of the territorial defense Yevgeny, codenamed Badger, and Vitaly Brizgalov have tasked themselves with making all-terrain military buggies for the Ukrainian army. Bondarenko has been fighting against the Russians since 2014 and has built a heavy machine gun which can hit targets at a distance of 6,000 meters. Yevgeny has transformed a 30-year-old all-terrain Mercedes truck by placing a homemade multiple rocket launcher system on it. The rocket launcher system is made from 4 tubes of a destroyed Russian Grad missile system. Vitaly Brizgalov has been making all-terrain military buggies for the army in his small garage. These buggies are made from antique Lada engines and can be customized with the addition of different weapons. The vehicles are being made to help the Ukrainian army combat the Russians and to become a symbol of the mobilization of an entire country. This do-it-yourself approach is proving to be a valuable addition to the Ukraine war effort. Harm missiles on Soviet fighter jets. Ukraine's military has found a way to attach HARM missiles on their Soviet MiG-29 and Su-27 fighter jets to weaken Russia's air defense capabilities. This match between the United States missile and the Soviets' fighter jet was previously thought impossible before the war in Ukraine. The integration of the missile on the MiG-29 and Su-27 fighters involves a lot of work in the avionics and electrical systems. To make the missile work, a simple tablet is linked to the missile to perform the targeting, possibly through the HARM's built-in sensor mode. A video released by the Ukrainian Air Force provided some details about the integration, but proved to be much less elaborate than expected. Somehow, the Ukrainians have figured out the impossible with a few relatively simple modifications. The missile appears to have been loaded directly on the APU-470 missile launchers used by both jets. As such, the Ukrainian military has been able to increase its own defensive capabilities while gaining a tactical advantage over Russian aviation. The MacGyver spirit of the Ukrainian people is truly remarkable. Against all odds, they've managed to create effective weapons from whatever supplies are available to them. Through their resourcefulness and ingenuity, they've been able to fight back against the Russian invasion with a fraction of the cost of the technology available to their enemies. It's a testament to the resilience and courage of the Ukrainian people that they've been able to use whatever materials are on hand to create such powerful weapons and to fight for their freedom. The MacGyver spirit of the Ukrainian people will serve as an example to others around the world that with a bit of creativity and determination, anything is possible.